Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about the Microsoft Copilot and its feature. So, as a part of Microsoft Copilot, we need to implement the SharePoint Advanced Management Tools. So, it is basically required to prepare the Microsoft 365 Copilot environment. So let's say you have a user, right? So when a user makes a request to Copilot, it utilizes the large language models. So to basically to process and understand the input, and then Copilot will generate a response. So because of this, we get a potentially relevant information. So the flow on how the Copilot interacts with the content from Microsoft Graph and SharePoint, and what are the roles of data governance. So we will be going in detail of each part. So basically, we need to understand processing the user request using LLM. So what are LLMs? So LLMs are large language models that are AI driven algorithms designed to process and generate human like text. So Copilot leverages on these models, right? So whenever we interact with a Copilot, we provide human input like in our natural language, and at the back end, Copilot processes it with the help of LLMs. They are trained on massive data sets, and also they excel in recognizing the patterns in the language, understanding the context, and also the providing the relevant information. So because of this, they are capable of providing the requested details. So basically we train them, right? So how does it works is we have something called Microsoft Graph. It is a powerful API. So what does it do is whenever, let's say we are asking for a data relevant to SharePoint or OneDrive or Office 365, Copilot will communicate with the respective environment using Microsoft Graph. So let's say when a request is made to Copilot to access a huge content of data within Microsoft Graph, right? So what does it include? So data is present everywhere, especially emails, files, meetings, chats, calendars, contacts, everywhere, right? So we can fetch information from everywhere. And the other thing is they are Microsoft helps organizations to address the data governance using something called as a SharePoint Advanced Premium SAM, which is also a part of the Copilot. So SAM is it is basically essential for organization to consider, because it is governance and also it is secured, right? So it gives a powerful suit. So what does it mainly help is the oversharing. It controls who has access to the Copilot, and content sprawl, right? To there might be a lot of sites within the SharePoint, so who have access to which sites, all these governance are in there. And another thing is implementing the SAM, which is the SharePoint Advanced Management Tool, right? To make sure your organization to go for Copilot adoption, there are few steps which we need to look on it, right? So reduce accidental oversharing. So for this, what you need to do is that update sharing link default. Like sometimes when we have the sharing links, like in SharePoint Admin Center, we may set it to default, but we need to customize it, right? Having site level controls. Next one is we need to have the cleanups done. Like there might be a lot of unused sites which may lead to a content sprawl. So all these things needs to be maintained, and also identify sites within potential overshared content. So SAM includes reports that identify the most overshared sites, right? So like overshared in the sense it may go to we would have shared it externally, also internally. So those reports can be generated, and also it includes tools to help limited access to confidential data with the via Copilot. And the other thing is it includes rack. Rack is something called as the restricted access control, that you can give restricted access to specific site or any OneDrive account, right? And the last one is take proactive measures on business critical sites. So if you have any sites which are having the highly confidential data, then they are called as a business critical sites, and those needs to be secured as well. So protect your data using secure there are certain tools which are available like Microsoft Purview information protection, Microsoft Purview sensitivity labels, Microsoft Entra conditional access policies, PIM privileged identity management, SharePoint site access reviews, Microsoft Graph and connectors. And also best practices is to conduct an access review. So as I told you, like we need to check each and maybe every 3 months or every quarter, we need to check what are the access which are there. Is it guest users are provided access, or what kind of is access is default? So we need to clean up this. We need to check and tighten the permissions on overexposed assets so that only the authorized users can access and validate the access, right? Also we can run few test searches and see, okay, are the right people are having the right set of access. So these are certain best practice. Then the other thing is implement multi-factor authentication. So multi-factor authentication or MFA is nothing but like let's say if you're having a banking app, you enter the credentials, but also an OTP is generated to your email or your mobile device, right? So that is basically the multi-factor authentication. So it can be via authenticator, it can be via text message, it can be via an additional security question, or it can be via biometric. There are a lot of options available. So you can also implement using conditional access policies or Microsoft 365 security defaults or the legacy per user MFA. So, but per user and MFA we don't recommend for like huge organization, right? So it's basically like a access that is available for a smaller set of organizations. So it can be, as I told you, if you see the infrastructure diagram, the authentication happens in the Microsoft Entra ID, and it can be via password, device, or even biometrics, right? So our London Tech Academy, what we do is that we give you enhanced training on each of these tools, okay? Because Microsoft environment is huge, and there are a lot of technologies that needs to be learned in depth, right? So this is just an overview. We will be covering a lot of sessions in upcoming series, but if you need an end-to-end clear right from the basic, then you can reach out to us, and you can also follow our page in YouTube, Instagram. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Thank you.